On my birthday, my family gave me a thoughtful gift. When I opened it, I found a notice telling me to move out of my own house. I smiled, and a few months later, returned the favor at their wedding. I honestly can't believe I'm typing this out right now. It feels like I'm in a bad reality show, but here goes. This is the story of how my birthday gift turned into the worst betrayal of my life and how I ended up giving my family the most unforgettable revenge. A bit of background: I'm in my late 20s, living in a house that's been in my family for generations. It's a huge place, too big for just me, but it was handed down to me after my parents passed away a few years ago. I've got a good job, but this house is my pride and joy. My family, though? They never let me forget that they thought they should have been the ones to inherit it. There's always this constant, low-key tension whenever we get together. Fast forward to my birthday last year. I was expecting a regular celebration, maybe a cake, a few gifts, and some laughs. But my family? Oh no, they had something special planned. It started with my cousin Rachel. She's this charming person who never really learned the meaning of boundaries. She showed up with a big smile and a wrapped box, practically jumping up and down. "I got you something amazing," she said, almost out of breath. Honestly, I was excited. It was nice of her, even though we didn't always see eye to eye. I unwrapped it and found a notice. I stared at it, trying to figure out what I was holding, until I read the words, "Notice of eviction. You are required to vacate the premises of, address, within 30 days. Signed, your family." I swear, my heart stopped. I looked up, trying to piece everything together, but Rachel's face was already flushed, like she was holding back laughter. My aunt, sitting across the room, gave me this pitying smile. "Don't be upset, honey," she said. "We thought you'd be happy to finally have a change of pace. You can move somewhere nicer." Is this some kind of joke?" I asked, barely able to form words. Rachel shrugged, all innocent. "Well, you're an adult now, and we just thought it was time. We've been talking about it for months, and it's really for your own good. You don't need all this space, right? You could sell it and get something more manageable." I was stunned. No one had talked to me about this. No one even gave me a hint that they were unhappy with the house or thought it wasn't mine to keep. I could feel my pulse in my ears as I looked around the room, my aunt, uncle, cousins, each one nodding like this was normal, like I should be grateful. I smiled, trying to hold back my anger. "Oh wow, how thoughtful. Really, just perfect." That's when my brother Jake chimed in. Jake has always been the chill one, but this time his voice had a bit of a smirk to it. "Well, the house was always meant to be a family thing, right? Not just yours." That's when I knew I couldn't just let this go. Fast forward a couple of months, and I was still living in the house despite the absurd eviction notice. I started planning something, not immediately, but every little detail was bubbling in the back of my mind. How do I get back at them? How do I make them realize what they tried to take from me? Well, I figured it out. A few months later, I got an invite. It was for Rachel's wedding. They thought they could mess with me? Huh. So, after I got that invite to Rachel's wedding, I knew exactly what I had to do. This was the perfect opportunity to return the favor. I wasn't going to just show up and act like everything was fine. No. I had plans, big plans. For the next few months, I pretended to go along with their ridiculous eviction idea. Whenever they brought it up, I'd nod along like I was considering moving. I even started looking at other places to move into, though in reality, I had no intention of leaving my house. I'd be damned if they thought they could push me out that easily. When the wedding date finally rolled around, I showed up at the venue all smiles, dressed to the nines. Everyone was acting like this was going to be a huge celebration, but I knew better. The whole thing was a spectacle. Rachel had spared no expense, renting an extravagant venue, hiring a big-name DJ, and even getting a luxury catering service surrounded the event, but despite the glitz and glamour, there was this sense of unease in the air. It wasn't just the fact that my family was trying to be fake nice to me, it was because I knew the real reason I was there. As I walked into the ceremony, I saw them all, my aunt, uncle, cousins, and of course, Rachel, looking absolutely radiant. Everyone was acting like everything was normal, but I could feel the tension. The underlying assumption that they had won, that they'd made me feel small, had me on edge. But I wasn't going to let them win. I had my plan, and it was about to unfold. The ceremony went off without a hitch, and the reception was filled with loud music and endless laughter. It was the perfect distraction, the perfect chaos. Rachel was busy dancing with her new husband, and my family was caught up in the excitement. That's when I slipped away. I found the seating chart by the door. They had assigned everyone to tables, of course, and there it was, a special note placed discreetly next to the chart, marked family only. I took a deep breath and headed over to the banquet hall. I wasn't sure if anyone would notice, especially with the way everyone was celebrating, but as soon as I walked in, I noticed Rachel's wedding planner huddling by the entrance. She looked at me like she'd seen a ghost. She was about to speak, but I stopped her with a smile. "I'm just here to make sure the seating is right," I said, my voice calm, almost too calm. "I'll just make a small change to the list." I quickly scanned the table assignments, taking in the names and faces of my relatives. Then I smiled to myself. I moved my name from the back of the hall, where they'd put me, to the front, right beside Rachel and her new husband. I even made sure to leave the note just like they'd left it for me, only this time it was a special one for them. The rest of the night was pure magic. Drink in hand, I enjoyed myself as Rachel stayed busy posing for pictures with her guests, completely oblivious to what I'd done. But when she finally noticed, when she saw me sitting at her head table, her eyes went wide, and her smile froze. "What are you doing here?" she hissed under her breath, her voice sharp. "Oh, just enjoying the celebration," I said, savoring every word. "Just like you thought I should enjoy my birthday gift." I didn't even look her in the eye, just casually twirling my drink. The wedding planner came over, attempting to move me back to my original spot, but I wasn't budging. Family only clearly didn't exclude me. After all, I was family too, right? Rachel, looking more irritated by the second, eventually stormed off to her parents. But that wasn't the best part, oh no. The best part was when I watched her parents, especially her mom, who had been the most vocal about me needing to leave the house, look around the room, clearly confused as to why there was a seat missing. I smiled. The tables were about to turn. By the end of the night, Rachel's attitude had shifted from angry to downright snippy. I could see it in her face, she knew something wasn't right. But here's the kicker, just before she could come over to confront me again, I overheard her and her new husband talking. "I can't believe she pulled this stunt at my wedding," Rachel said, her voice shaky. "How dare she, after everything we've done for her?" Her husband, looking less than thrilled, tried to calm her down. "Look, Rachel, it's just a wedding. Let it go." But Rachel wasn't letting it go. She was fuming, and I could see the wheels turning in her head. Whatever plan she had to get back at me was already forming. I wasn't worried. All right, I can hear you. Where's the revenge? Trust me, it's coming. But let me set the scene for the final twist, because that's where it really gets sweet." After Rachel lost her mind at the wedding, I could tell she was plotting something. She kept throwing little passive-aggressive comments my way, trying to get under my skin. But I wasn't biting. I knew she was desperate to get back at me. What she didn't know was that I had already been preparing for my next move. A few weeks later, after the wedding chaos had died down, Rachel called me. I knew this was it, she was about to lay it all out, probably blaming me for ruining her big day or something. But no. What she said next almost made me drop my phone. "No, you've really hurt me," Rachel started, all drama and fake hurt feelings. "I thought you were family, but instead, you pulled that stunt at my wedding. And now you're still refusing to leave the house. You're making everyone uncomfortable, and I'm going to do something about it." I almost laughed in her face. She had the audacity to lecture me about family after what she and the rest of my relatives had tried to pull? But instead of getting defensive, I stayed calm. "Wow, Rachel. I'm really sorry you feel that way," I said, laying it on thick with the sarcasm. "I guess we all need to make sacrifices for family, huh?" She didn't catch it. Instead, she went on about how I was ruining the family reputation by holding on to the house. "You're just so selfish, it's unbelievable," she ranted. "I'm going to get everyone on my side, and we're going to fix this once and for all." At that moment, I realized something. She had no idea what was coming. A few weeks after that phone call, Rachel started talking about a family meeting to resolve the situation about the house. I'd already expected this. What I hadn't expected was the firestorm that followed.